Is there really a benefit for us in doing good to others, especially to a servant of God? Will we receive any advantage or blessings if we do good to others? Why should we do good to our fellow humans? Peace be with all of us, children. Come, let us learn once again some important lessons from God, listening to the story from the Bible entitled Elisha and the Shunammite Woman. Once, Elisha, a prophet and a servant of God, went to Shunem. There was a wealthy woman there, and she invited him to eat at their home. From then on, he ate there whenever he visited that place. The woman said to her husband, "I am sure that this man is a servant of God. Why don't we build a room for him to stay in whenever he comes here? Let's provide him with a bed, a table, a chair, and a lamp." When Elisha returned, he rested in the room that was prepared for him. He called his servant Gehazi and said, "Call the Shunammite woman." The servant obeyed, and soon the woman stood before Elisha. Elisha said to his servant, "Tell her that we are thankful for the lodging she had provided for us. Also, ask her what we can do for her in return for her kindness." The woman replied, "You don't need to worry about anything. We are content living here among our people." After the woman left, Elisha asked Gehazi, "What can we do for her?" Gehazi replied, "She has no child and her husband is old." "Call her again," Elisha instructed. The woman returned and stood in the doorway. Elisha said to her, "1 year from now, you will have a child." The woman responded, "My Lord, servant of God, please don't get my hopes up." But in time, the Shunammite woman became pregnant and gave birth to a son. The child grew, and one day he went to his father, who was in the field during the harvest. When he got there, he complained of a severe headache. The father said to his servant, "Take him to his mother." The servant obeyed and placed the child in his mother's lap. But around noon, the child died. The mother carried the child's body to Elisha's room, laid him on the bed, closed the door, and hurried out. She called her husband and said, "Please, get a servant and prepare a donkey for me to ride. I am going to see the servant of God." When the donkey was ready, she quickly mounted it and told her servant, "Go as fast as you can and don't stop unless I tell you." So they went to the Mount Carmel where Elisha was. While they were still on their way, Elisha saw them coming. He said to Gehazi, "The Shunammite woman is coming. Go meet her and ask how she, her husband, and her child are." When Gehazi asked her, she replied, "Everything is fine." As she approached Elisha, she fell at his feet and hugged him. Gehazi tried to push her away, but Elisha said, "Leave her alone. She is in great distress." The woman said, "Did I ask you for a son? Didn't I tell you not to get my hopes up?" Elisha then went to the Shunammite's house. He entered his room and saw the child's body on his bed. He closed the door and prayed. He laid down on the child's body, placing his mouth on the child's mouth and his eyes on the child's eyes. Slowly, the child's body began to warm. Elisha got up and walked back and forth in the room. Then, he lay down on the child again. The boy sneezed 7 times and opened his eyes. Elisha called Gehazi and told him to bring the Shunammite woman. When she came in, Elisha said, "Take your son." The woman fell at Elisha's feet in gratitude. Then she picked up her son and carried him to her room.
Is there really a benefit for us in doing good to others, especially to a servant of God? Will we receive any advantage or blessings if we do good to others?
Yes, indeed, children. God blesses those who do good to others, especially to His servants, just as what happened to the Shunammite woman.
Why should we do good to our fellow humans?
Because God blesses those who do good. What lessons should we learn? Number 1, always do good to everyone. Let us imitate the Shunammite woman who thought of building a room for Elisha because she knew it would help the servant of God. She did good without expecting anything in return. Instead, she was favored and blessed by God. Number 2, always turn to God and the pastors in the church. Like the woman, when she encountered a great problem, she immediately thought of going to Elisha, the servant of God, to ask for help. Therefore, if we have problems or need advice and guidance, we should not hesitate to turn to God and His servants.
Therefore, nothing is impossible with God. Any good deed you do will surely be rewarded by the goodness of our Lord God. This is the essence of your memory verse.
From the book of Mark, chapter 10, verse 27. Jesus looked at them and said, "With man this is impossible, but not with God. All things are possible with God."
Thank you very much, children. Miss Pa!